Good morning, everybody. I'm getting all my overlays up and all of that good stuff. How are you? It's so good to be here with you today, and I'm super excited that I'll be sharing more quilts with you. It's so funny from PIQF. It's so funny because when I go through them, and I'm looking at the pictures. Number one, I might not even remember I took the picture, but number two, I'm like going, yeah. So, but before we get started, this came across my feed or whatever. And you know how much I love Alden Lane. And I just thought and I sent pictures to them. Had they seen this? This is so cute. Now you would have to, this is not Alden Lane, but I'm dialed into this. And I think this is so cute. And all you need is 10,000 cans of paint and a table saw, right? So, hey, Rondi. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here today. All right. So I have to tell you a wonderful, fun story. Yesterday, John and I went to Freddy Moran's house. We're going to help her sell some of her SELL, some of her faces and a couple of her larger quilts. And so, yeah, she was all excited. And so I said, "Tell you what, Freddie, I'll bring lunch." Okay, great. So my best friend Karen goes, "Well, okay, what are you going to go get from Trader Joe's and repackage?" That's my go-to. No, I'm going to make something. So I made this curry chicken salad. And you can see there's tomatoes from Alden Lane, from the owner's house. Those are cucumbers from Alden Lane. Grapes were from Trader Joe's. But also, when I was at Trader Joe's, I grabbed that brie cheese. And I thought, okay, that'll be fine. And then threw some crackers in the package with the whole thing. With strawberries, chocolate for dessert, all good stuff. So I have been on a quest for gold thread, and on the way to Freddy's was wooden gate. So we stopped there, didn't have it, gold metallic. But right next door is this bakery. I never go to bakeries. I just don't, because they would be just deadly for my rear end. But there's this bakery, and I go, let's go in there and see if they have croissants. They had four. They had just come out of the oven, and I mean, they were still warm. The bag was sweating butter and all that. So we bought them. We went to Freddy's. I can tell you right now, nobody cared at all about that chicken salad. We ate that brie block with our croissants. And there was crust and flakes and everything everywhere. It was absolutely wonderful. It's so great being with Freddie. I don't know if she's 92, 93, but she is so wise and has an opinion, and it's usually spot on. Another great note, if you didn't see it on Facebook, Cindy did not lose her home, and Cindy Needham, and they got to go back. And she sent her husband Kent the night before because she didn't know if her heart could take it. And it made it. It made it. And she was so happy when they said you could go back home. And for those of you who don't know, she was on the edge of the fire in Chico. She was so happy. She was sobbing and choking and coughing and crying. And I said to her, "Boy, that sure brings a new meaning to home sweet home. There's no place like home." So, yay! All right, back to the metallic thread, of which I can't find it anywhere on my thread wall. I found this Wonderfill, and I want to use it for embroidery. So I think I'll just maybe double or triple it or something like that. And then one other story, I'm working on something that's quite small, and it has taken an intense amount of time to make it, and it's gone. I can't find it. I can't find it. I've looked in every drawer, everything. I even thought I'd bring the kids over and pay them $5 if they could find it. I'm desperate for this, all right? And then this morning, I thought, think like a cat. Just think like a cat. Whoosh, off the table, behind another table. And I found all sorts of treasures back there that I didn't even know I was missing. I found it. Okay. Yeah, Suzanne, I even called up TQS. I know people, the store, and I know we sold it. And many times Suzanne hangs on to just one little package, for emergencies such as this. It was gone. I was like, I can't find it. So, okay, let's start looking at quilts. And again, why are you in here?
Show them your cat retrieval tool.
Oh, yeah, this is my retrieval tool for my cat, right? Oh, how dirty it is under my. My dad had one of these on the back of his truck to get stuff. And it was funny. One year, William said he wanted this for his birthday. I mean, he got everything. And all he did was run around and it's a good gift. 4-year-old, 5-year-old boy. Okay, Suzanne, you can have it. I think this will work. Anyways, all righty, Rue. Back to PIQF. I love the Mancuso brothers. They're wonderful people. And on Monday, we went through some of the quilts. I didn't, there was not a rhyme or reason other than a quilt might strike me and I take a picture. We did not know who the winners were, although I knew who the winner was before it was even announced. You could just tell. I'll show that today. And I just want to share with you. Okay. Do I need metallic gold embroidery thread? I have several. No, I think I have it covered with that now, Susan. Thank you guys. You're so good. You're so good. All right. I think this is a good one. Well, okay. This is called You Don't Bring Me Flowers Anymore. It's like 54 by 54 and it's by Susan Gregg. And it is a remembrance of her husband as she works through the grief of having lost him. So I think this is quite a complex quilt. I didn't, I want to show you the edge of it. I've never seen anything like that before. It is absolutely extraordinary. You look at I didn't appreciate the minutia of this quilt until I really started looking at the quilt and the amount of work that went into it. I'm sure this got some prize. It had to have. But the thing I really love, well, many things, but that binding, with the way the rickrack is inserted in there, that is flipping awesome. Now, the vendors were setting up, all right, and I kind of had to stay out of the way because they're working, right? But there's this one vendor that's always there, and there's that rickrack. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. You just and that was just one side. I didn't buy any, but man, it's like, okay, if I can't have the whole display, I'm not interested. And then what am I going to do with this rickrack? Well, Robin knew what to do with this rickrack. It is the best. All right. Then this is, interesting about the Cherrywood exhibit. I remember being at Houston and not being able to find the first place or someplace. And I come to find out that there are so many quilts that get into the Cherrywood exhibit. And I'll show you a couple Monarch ones that had ribbons on them that don't quote me on the number, but it's like there's 6 or 7 different shows going on, different places at the same time. So you'll never see all of them at once because nobody has a football stadium to put them in. And I'm being facetious here, but this is Renee Davis's, and it's Your Journey Landed Here. Sixth place. These Cherrywood competitions are unbelievable. And I believe Poppies is coming up, right? Right, everybody? I think it's Poppies. Okay, then there's this one by Debbie Bloomer, Circle of Life. And there were some that didn't have any awards on it, and I'm like going, well, why not? I mean, I'll tell you what. I think I've shared this before. I don't want to judge. I don't want to do that. It's such an important position to be in, but it's just difficult and it's wrenching. And I know Ricky loves it. I know he loves it. But for me, no, thank you. All right. Then, okay, this is really cool. Anna Buzzolino was there, and we've done a show with her. I cannot believe I did not write down the show number. I'm usually pretty good about that. But she had a special exhibit, and it was basically pretty much using all red. She had from January, she was asked to do it, let's say in December, January. She had that long to now to get together a 3-bay exhibit, you know, like how they're set up in bays. And her work is extraordinary. You can watch her show. It wasn't on this. And then she asked if she could be back on again. And I'm like, yes. So let's take a look at what she's doing. All right. This is so beautiful. It is so exquisite. And how she made it might really surprise you. I was so overwhelmed. I didn't really listen to what she was saying, and I'm rather embarrassed about that because I really, really like Anna, but I was so taken. This started as this. Mm-hmm. As this. And she must have painted on top of it, maybe, because I don't think she could dye it, because then how would you get that yellow in there, right? I think this is just extraordinary. All right. Here is our two little pieces that are being prepared. They're not finished to be painted or dyed or whatever. Okay, thank you. Quilt Show 3110, Anna Buzzolino. I was just smacked by this, smacked. And I said, okay, when people have been on the quilt show and they want to be back on, we ask, well, is it new? I mean, do you have something new? And she was like, oh, yeah. I can only hope it is this that I'm showing you right now. This is, I said, there's no way you've done this since January. And I forget what she said. It was like either the top she hadn't or the bottom she hadn't. I don't know, but you can see it's 3 layers and it's hand stitched. Her design, some people have the graphic design ability and some don't, and she does. This one, let me see, might have been I don't want to say it's my favorite. Here's another one. That's incredible. It's graphically perfect, absolutely perfect. And what you need to know is that those are actual holes that are in the quilt. They're finished beautifully, perfectly, but then she backed it with something like this. So you can see it coming through the light from the hole. So I am very excited to have her back on. I got hold of Lilo, and then I told her to get hold of Lilo, because in the end, Lilo, figures out when to get you on and what works best in your schedule. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right. This next one is by Betsy Vingard, and it's called Concentric. Okay. You guys, it's 24 by 24. 24 by 24. Let that sink in. So from the center to the left, center up, that's 12 inches. If I'm doing my math right, 12 inches. And again, I said it's by Betsy Vingard. And she said, it's not as hard as it looks. Okay, yeah, sure, Betsy. She said, it's kind of, I'm putting it in my own words. It's kind of like a riff. Is it a riff or a rift on the log cabin? I think I got a close-up of this too. Yeah, I did. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, that's interesting. Joanne said she took one of her online classes using PPT to create designs after watching her show at the quilt show. Okay. I think we're talking about Anna there. Okay, this is called Native Grass by Ann Horton. Okay. Now, this is 40 by 40. I mean, these are smaller pieces, okay, people? And it's pretty much, it's machine pieced, all right, but it's hand appliqued and hand quilted. Now, we did a show with her, Ann Horton, show 2005. And there are little bugs all around it because, of course, that's what's in native grass. All around it. Let me go back and look at the big one. You can see little bugs. Bug, 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 bug. And then, look at the quilting and the handwork. So if it's 40 by 40, let's do some little math here. What would those be? Those would probably be 10-inch blocks, right? 10, 20, 30, and then the 5-inch on the outside, maybe. Or maybe a little bit more because she does have an inner sashing there. But I think this is really wonderful. And you know, when I go to shows and I look at quilts like that, those might not have been my go-to colors, but seeing how beautifully they play together, yeah, absolutely. That's why it's so important to expose yourself to all this stuff. Okay, this next one is Betsy Vingard, and it's called, I don't know how to say it, Meodeon, Modium, Meodeon. I don't know, but it's 56 by 56. I really, really love these diamonds on point and how she put it together. And I love that it's kind of like an Amish bar quilt in as much as it's got those huge graphic bars going down. And I love that on the left side it's light gray and on the right side it's dark gray. It just has a really smashing result to this whole thing. And again, I don't know who won ribbons. You can go to the Mancuso site and figure this out if you want, but I didn't. Okay, this is Solace by Marge Tucker, and she said she was inspired by stacked coins. Now, I get it now. I was thinking a quilt pattern, but now I get it because it was like she was inspired by I think she was inspired by if you stack coins, what the side might look like. I think. Oh, that one is 43 by 56. Okay. Oh, this is by Nechama Cox, and it's called Welcome to My World. She made this, it's okay, 92 by 61. She made it for her grandson's 3rd birthday. And in every little vignette, you can see a little blonde boy enjoying this wonderful world. So let's take a look at this one. There he is. There he is. And you can see the light was not helping this quilt out because it wasn't on yet. And then this one, oh, there's the blonde kid. Okay, to the far left. Got it. So every single little one, there's a little blonde boy enjoying this wonderful world he is now living in. Okay. I'm really wondering if this is, I think this is out of order. I think, let me see, let me get to that. I think I may be really sad that I don't have one in here. Okay, I got to skip to this because I just do. Okay, this is by Patty Fried. She is in my little mini group. And she's been on the show. We didn't do this, but we did some really fun things in her show. And then when we had a guest get really sick at the last minute, we did a pinch hit show, and she came and did another segment. It's really fun to watch Patty grow and change, and she's always up for trying new things. So that's somebody that's after my own heart. And then Denise Killingworth is also in my mini group, And this actually got a judge's award, and a judge's choice, I think, is what it was. So she sent me this in a text. It's so funny because I saw Patty's at the show. I did not see Denise's. That's how fast we were jamming through. But we watched in my little mini group this quilt being made. And one of the things she did that I think is super awesome, wonderful, is she added beading. And you can see the turtle with the bubbles coming out and the seal. And then way at the bottom, starfishes, those were beaded too in red. I believe they're red beads. And the one thing that you can be sure is that if you come to our mini group and you show something, we don't have a name, but we call ourselves Opinions Are Us, because we're all secure enough in what we can do and respect and honor each other's opinions so much that if somebody says jump there, I'm going to ask how high, why, and how high. That's that group. Okay, so here is Best of Show, Marilyn Badger. And, you know, I've looked at some of the other quilts and they are equally stunning. But this, I walked by, they were judging, and I knew who it was instantly because I'd seen this quilt before. And Marilyn's work is over the top, but there was something really, I mean, technically, artistically, difficulty, all of the above, okay? So what was uncharacteristic to me about this quilt was the center, and it was this hand-dyed doily. Look at the beading on that. I mean, crazy, crazy. Okay. When I was there and the judges were there, and somebody said, oh, that is, write this down, Wendy Richardson's doilies, hand-dyed. So I instantly came home, went to her website, and you can see her work, Wendy Richardson, and you can see that she's in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. She has a lot of really cool things on her site, but for me to see this and go to here is something that I don't even know. I don't know how Marilyn wrapped her brain around it. Let's just say that. But the other thing I always look at are the edges, just like the first one I showed here with the rickrack in there. Let's take the look here. The fastidiousness of this whole thing is over the top. And I don't think she's been on the show. And I know she's super aligned with a long arm company, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to screw it up. Did Marilyn have lots of bling in her BOS? Her two quilts that I've seen this year were over the top with bling. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look, you can see it there. You can see it. And you know, even though a lot of this is done by machine, a lot of this is done by hand. Totally. Okay. Before I get to the next thing, I saw a question up here that I want to address. Let me get my face back on here. Tell you what. Oh, how do we send pictures to Alex if a block of the month won ribbons at this year's country fairs? Please. You did? You didn't, did you?
Yeah, I answered.
Where?
I sent her your.
Okay, John replied to her privately, but it is if you want to get hold of me, it's AlexAndRSN@gmail. Okay, I've got a bunch of things open here. Yeah, if you see BOMs that are best to show, I want to see because I want to celebrate with all of you. APQS, she works with APQS. I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it wrong. And I believe we tried to get her on the show when APQS was a sponsor. And then something like COVID came up. Something like that. And then we ended up going with Bernina, right? Well, no, and we've had some different ones, and now we're basically not with any long arm people, though I love my Bernina one. So that's what happened. We tried to get her, and that crazy little thing snuck up on us. Okay, so what is going on? What is coming up? Next what I'll tell you a story. My girlfriend Pauline Stone called, that's her maiden name. And she is the most accomplished person I know on the face of the earth. She can do anything, anything, anything. I think I've shown you her mirrors. Her quilts are phenomenal. She makes clothes from poof, picks them out. She called and wanted to know about marking tools because she was marking a quilt for a bunch of women to quilt on. And what she thought she should use, no, she shouldn't. And after going back and forth texting, right, I said, I should do a segment on this. So on Monday, I'm going to do a segment on marking tools, what I use. There are a trillion out there, but I will share with you what I use and the downfalls, pitfalls, what to be aware of, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be Monday. But in the meantime, Dee is starting on Saturday a 4-part series, Desert Windmills. Now, here's the deal. We are out of kits. We are out of patterns. However, this is how you can get to the pattern. Go Google down Grapevine Lane, and there are patterns available there. I'm sorry we don't have them. They're coming from Australia, I believe, and we wouldn't be able to get them in time. But I think this is an exceedingly charming quilt and worth anybody's time to make. Okay. But also, I want to thank all of you. So that's Saturday, okay? I want to thank all of you who support us, who tune in. I mean, time is a very valuable thing. And when you become a paid member, it's like $49 for the whole year, and you have access to the shows and all that. You get a 25% one-time shopping deal, gift certificate for the store as a thank you. Well, we are so grateful for all of you that we are going to have a summer sale starting tomorrow. And on Thursday, Star members get first crack at the 25% off. Then Friday, non-Star members have a crack at it. It goes through Monday, midnight, California time. I am going to say, I do not believe you can combine this with the coupon that you have in your email box. John's going, you can't, okay? So it is 25% off, except Star memberships. So if you want to join us, and if you don't, I don't understand why. That's $49 a year, $49.99 or something. It does not apply to that. It does not apply to software. And it does not apply to our sale department because we already have things there on sale. So, and remember, shipping's free if it's over 100, right, John? Even if it's a mat and stuff. Holy smokes. So we encourage you to shop. It is John's birthday today. Happy birthday, John. And he wants you to go to the store and buy something for yourself. Okay, so we've got Dee on Saturday, me on,
Barbara on Friday.
oh, Barbara's is, oh my gosh, yes, we have Barbara Black this Friday. We got you guys busy, man. Barbara Black this Friday, Dee Saturday, me Monday, and then Ricky's gonna do Wednesday with his interview with Victoria Findlay Wolf and some quilts at the Lincoln International Quilt Museum. So we have a lot on our plate to give to you. Yep. Let me just look. I don't know why this thing. Okay. Now remember with these marking tools as I go down, it's what I use. And everybody's wishing you happy birthday. Come stick your head in. Have you shaved? Have you shaved?
Thank you. I've arrived at the age now that when the family wishes me happy birthday, they don't really understand how old I am. They think about how old they are.
I'll tell you a cute story with that. Josh Cooley, my son went to school with. Maybe I told it the other day, but he worked with Pixar, and now he's with who? one of the big studios, okay? And he gets Academy Awards. This kid gets Academy Awards. So I send a picture that Mary Kay had sent me from Comic-Con, and Josh is on a panel, all right? And Mary Kay wrote me and goes, do you know Josh Cooley? And I'm like, yes. He's a great human being. Both he and his brother are great parents. And I said, go say hi from Joey and Alex. And she goes, I can't get near him. But anyways, I sent the picture to Joey, and he said two things came to mind. First one was he's so happy for Josh, just because just such a good guy, and he's just done so well. He's so creative. And the second was, are we really that old? So thank you for choosing to spend your time with me, and I will see you Monday. But we've